Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Kamen Rider Geats episode 7. Now this episode is kind of like a team kind of building episode. We also got some a little bit of backstory, on Geats Ace, and also most likely probably who he's looking for, his mother. But we'll get to that in a second. Also, we fight a final boss Yamato in this episode, who is notorious for killing Kamen Riders. And this Yamato basically has never been defeated. And we find out that this Yamato is the Yamato that ended up killing a lot of riders. And the concept of how to beat this rider is a little weird. It's a little bit weird, but it's actually pretty cool. And we got a lot of and KY got some shine in this episode. He gets overshadowed by Ace, main character type stuff, but he gets overshadowed by Ace in this episode. And also we get a little glimpse of what he is really looking for, and also possibly the person who gave him that coin, the coin of Caesar. But basically, this episode starts off with KY doing his natural, diet, do kind of like a recap on what's going on, or what's basically gone on in the DGP so far, and talks about how if you're eliminated from the game, then you go back to your regular life without any memories, but you can also die in the game, and no one knows really what happens to you. Only the Yamato know. So we see Nina-chan doing her classic little running away from home type thing going on with her two bodyguard butler dudes coming to get her again. She says she's basically ran away from home like I think it's the 52nd time she's actually tried this. And yeah, we end up seeing a little bit of foreshadowing to the new boost, the new item, the new buckle in this episode as well. The ninja buckle was actually pretty freaking cool. But we did see that everybody has basically teamed up. Is an emergency to where everyone has to automatically rush out to fight some attacking Yamato in the city. We do see that everybody hinges up and everybody's fighting these Yamato, and then we see Ace end up saving KY, and ends up getting like this, and he ends up getting the KY ends up getting the boost knuckle back. He ends up getting it back, and this time he actually uses it in this episode, which was actually, I'm like, about freaking time. I guess the boost buckle was kind of getting sick of him just handing him off to other people. He even keeps it even after Buffer demands that he give it to him, but he's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm actually gonna use it this time, so shut up. So they do ask Ace about what he actually is wishing for. He says, well, I didn't wish for world peace and I didn't wish for love, but yeah. But they also did talk about the current Yamato, final boss Yamato that they had to fight, and we basically run down the story of, this thing killed a bunch of riders and stuff. But Ace is like, yeah, but that happened way before I even started playing the game. So yeah, with me, we gonna win. With me, I'm gonna win it all. So basically, KY does ask him, you know a lot about the DGP, like you know a lot about everything that's going on. He said, how long are you exactly playing? You've won so many times, so why are you still playing? And he says he says like a time period. I couldn't pronounce what he said, but he says how long he's been playing, and KY is like, I'm being serious here. He's like, oh well, if you didn't like the answer I gave you, then you probably should have never asked me in the first place. But we did see that after everybody basically, they ended up fighting this Yamato, and it starts off very, very small, and we see Buffer tries to fight it, but it ends up whooping his ass. And we see that this thing is actually pretty small, and it has a can with it. It's like a Monster Energy can. That's what I really thought it was. I thought it was a Monster Energy can, but turns out it kind of already is a Monster Energy can, where it makes like this big giant green tree thing, which I thought was a Christmas tree. I didn't think that this thing at first I didn't think that this thing was actually something that final boss Jamato actually created. So this thing, after they basically defeated all the smaller grunt Jamato in the city, they end up going for the final boss. Turns out it will consume humans. It will eat and consume humans. The tree that it creates will actually go and grab humans and use their energy, and it ends up going inside of the monster, this monster energy can that it has in front of it, and it tried to protect this can at all costs, because it collects all this energy, and when it opens the can and drinks it, it will grow bigger. So the objective of the game basically was to kick the can. Yet they end up kicking the can and stopping this thing from drinking anymore. So they ended up trying to stop it, but they inevitably end up losing this round, because the monster ends up growing, actually drinking the energy and actually getting bigger. Now that it's got bigger, we go back to the hideout, and we go back to all the stuff that I talked about earlier, with him describing what he kind of wished for, how long he's been in the game and stuff, and people not taking him seriously. So we get a little bit of downtime. Of Nia-chan actually end up meeting up with Ace after she's running away from the Jamato. We see that she ends up meeting up with Ace and end up eating at this restaurant, and it's the same restaurant that KY and his sister went to in the episode 1. So we see that KY and his sister end up coming to that restaurant anyway, and they end up meeting up with KY and Nina-chan, and everybody's kind of geeking out and everything, fanboying, fangirling, stuff like that, because these two like really stars are sitting next to each other, eating with each other, and we already know all the propaganda that's going around. So, are they dating? Stuff like that is going on. So we see that KY and his sister end up seeing Ace and Nina, and Nina-chan, and they end up sitting with them, having some small talk conversations. We do find out that KY and his sister are only living together because both of their parents are dead. Both their parents died, and they only have each other to really rely on. But you see that some of this stuff is starting to hit Ace kind of hard, because you actually see like how it's affecting him, and his little the way his facial expressions and stuff is. We see that he's seeing that he actually understands why KY is actually wishing for world peace, because he wants to protect his sister, and also he wants to protect anybody else, and doesn't want anybody else to go through that same pain that he has gone through. So he does kind of give KY like a little pep talk and stuff like that about we're going to save the world and stuff like that, but still at the end of the day, I'm going to win. That's always Ace's shtick. He's always like, yeah, I'm going to win this. So we say KY is kind of gullible and stuff like that. So him and they kind of everybody basically parts ways. We see that the game ends up starting again with everybody at this amusement park, and we see that KY ends up going in and trying to fight the thing first using the boost knuckle. We see what his body looks like while using the boost knuckle. It looks pretty cool. So he's running around the monster, trying to basically attack it to get to the can. Also, when the monster gets bigger, the can also gets bigger. So you gotta have a pretty powerful kick to end up doing that. So he ends up switching and using the boost knuckle for his legs, and he almost ends up kicking the thing, but he ends up getting blasted. And we said KY actually was doing pretty good. He was maneuvering well, all the stuff like that. He ends up getting hit by the thing and end up dehensioning, and he's all beat up and bloody and stuff like that. We see that Ace actually comes in and deflects a blast that was going to end up hitting KY, and it did it rewarded Ace with a secret mission loot box, and inside this loot box was the ninja buckle, or the ninja attachment. He ends up, and we see that he tells KY, he's like, yeah, I just needed you to get into a certain predicament where I would have to save you, and I would get the secret mission item. So KY's pissed again, because he's like, oh well, all that stuff you told me before was a lie, all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, and you fell for it again, kid. So we see that KY ends up getting real pissed off at Ace, and we see that Ace ends up using the ninja buckle, which looks pretty freaking cool. Ends up using the ninja buckle, and ends up fighting our big giant Jamato. while he's fighting this Jamato, he's doing a whole bunch of ninja stuff, a whole bunch of cool ninja stuff, making clones, making like freaking elemental shurikens and stuff. It's actually pretty cool. The freaking cinematography and the angles look awesome. But we did see that he ends up using the buckle again, switching it over, using the revolve. He ends up using it and ends up putting on the leg portion. He runs super fast all the way to the can and kicks it. Like he kicked this can like it owed him money. And turns out when he kicks it, we see that the Jamato ends up catching it and he disappears. So we see that Sumari actually tells them that, hey, yeah, you kicked the can, but you have to kick the can like out of bounds. So it's like, oh, okay, you could have told us this sooner. So KY's pissed off at Ace because like he tells him, all right, dude, all that stuff you told me was a lie, so just so you can get that new buckle and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, you fell for it. And then K was like, nah, I'm good, bro. No more trust. I'm never trusting you again, never believing nothing you say again. And he ends up passing out. We see that, and the episode kind of ends off right there. We did see that now they're going to actually take on the Jamato again, but the next episode we're going to see KY is going to be the one that ends up using the ninja buckle, and the ninja buckle basically looks just like the boost buckle. It's just green. It's just green with a shuriken on it. It looks cool though, and I really like this form. This form actually does look pretty cool. But I wonder when Geats is gonna get like his own exclusive forms. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We've seen that he's actually used like other buckles before. We've seen him use the boost buckle, the zombie buckle, the magnum buckle, and now we've seen him use the ninja buckle. So I wonder what's next for your boy. We know that everybody can use everybody else's stuff, so it's. I don't know if anybody's gonna get anything basically exclusive to them, like only they can use this thing. But with that being said, though, they end up defeating. We see that Ace does end up defeating this. Does end up almost defeating this Jamato, but it ends with KY basically saying that I'm not gonna trust this guy anymore. No more trust. So you guys basically. You guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about it, because I did like how KY did get some type of shine, even though he is my favorite character, and I'm hoping that he does get and we know that he's going to get a lot more shine in the next episode, which I'm very much looking forward to, because KY's my boy. I really like KY. I really like his personality, stuff like that. He's just an innocent guy, and he has a simple wish, just world peace. That's all he wants. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of episode 7 of Kamen Rider Geats. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Remember, stay Henshin.